حي على الفلاح.
Who is the most noble of man? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "It is Yusuf, the honorable, the son of the honorable, the son of the honorable, the son of the honorable." The father of Yusuf is a prophet, his grandfather is a prophet, and his great-grandfather is a prophet, and he's a prophet himself. It's Yusuf, the son of Yakub, the son of Ishaq, the son of Ibrahim alayhi salam. This is the most detailed and fascinating story in the Qur'an, involving both human weaknesses such as jealousy, hatred, pride, passion, deception, intrigue, and cruelty, as well as noble qualities such as patience, loyalty, bravery, nobility, and compassion. We learn about Yusuf alayhi salam's joys, troubles, and sorrows, and move with him through the years of his life as he arms himself with piety and patience, and in the end emerges victorious. As the sun appeared over the horizon, bathing the earth in its morning glory, Yusuf, son of the prophet Yakub, awoke from his sleep, delighted by a pleasant dream. Filled with excitement, he ran to his father and related it. "O my father, verily, I saw in a dream 11 stars in the sun and the moon. I saw them prostrating themselves to me." Yakub alayhi salam immediately grasped the meaning of his son's vision. His father's face lit up. He foresaw that Yusuf would be the one through whom the prophecy of his grandfather, Prophet Ibrahim, would be fulfilled, and that his offspring would keep the light of Ibrahim's house and alive and spread Allah's message to mankind. However, as quickly as the joy had sprung into Yaqub's face, it vanished, and he cautioned Yusuf to keep what he had seen to himself. He said, "O my son, do not relate your vision to your brothers, or they will contrive against you a plan. Indeed, Satan, to man, is a manifest enemy." The brothers of Yusuf harbored great jealousy against him and desired that their father's love and attention be solely devoted to them. Blinded by hatred and a sense of jealousy, the brothers held a secret meeting. Yaqub alayhi salam had 12 sons. From Leah, he had Rubel, Shamun, Lavi, Yehuda, Issachar, and Zabloon. Similarly, from Rachel, he had Yusuf and Binyamin. From the maid girl of Rachel, he had sons, Dan and Naphtali. And from Zilpah, the maid girl of Leah, he had Jed and Ashir. The house of Yakub was in Hebron, in the land of Canaan. His flocks were often fed in the pastures of Shechem, as well as Dothan. Of all the children in his household, he loved Rachel's firstborn, Yusuf, the most. Thus Yusuf's half-brothers were jealous of him, and they ridiculed him often. Yusuf, very handsome and robust, with a gentle temperament, he was respectful, kind, and considerate. His brother Binyamin was equally pleasant. Both were from one mother, Rachel. Because of their refined qualities, the father loved the two more than his other children and would not let them out of his sight. To protect them, he kept them busy with work in the house garden. The brothers of Yusuf did not like that he should become the only center of their parental love. The jealousy of the brothers felt towards Yusuf blinded their hearts, disoriented their thinking, and made small things seem unsurmountable, large things seeming insignificant. They decided to get rid of him. One of them asked, "Why does our father love Yusuf more than us?" Another answered, "Perhaps because of his beauty." A third said, "Yusuf and his brother occupied our father's heart." The first complained, "Our father has gone all astray." One of them suggested a solution to the matter. "Slay Yusuf." "Where should we slay him?" "We should banish him away from these grounds. We will send him to a distant land." "Why should we not slay him and have rest, so that the favor of your father may be given to you alone?" However, Yehuda, The eldest and most intelligent among them said, "There is no need to slay him when all you want is to get rid of him. Look here, let us throw him into a well, and he will be picked up by a passing caravan. They will take him with them to a distant land. He will disappear from your father's sight, and our purpose will be served with his exile. Then after that, we shall repent for our crime and become good people once again." The discussion continued on the idea of dropping Yusuf into a well, as it was seen as the safest solution. The plan to slay him was defeated. Kidnap into a distant land was approved. It was the cleverest of ideas. They approached Yakub a.s. with a plan to take Yusuf into the desert with them, on the pretext of letting him play and enjoy himself. Fear leapt into Yakub's heart. He suspected treachery and expressed his fear that a wolf would take Yusuf. Yakub answered to them by saying, "My sons, it is difficult for me to separate from him for even a short period of time during the day. Along with this, I also fear that your playing and other things may distract you, and a wolf may eat him. He is too young to be able to fight off a wolf, and you will be too busy to notice what is happening." The brothers protested falsely. If a wolf should eat him while we are a strong clan, indeed, we would then be losers. Yakub was powerless to protect his beloved son from his brother's evil, or indeed from anything else with which his Lord might see fit to test him. At the same time, Yusuf's vision had made it clear that a very special future lay ahead of him. Because of this, Yakub possessed the assurance that no matter what troubles might befall Yusuf during his life, he would reach the exalted rank that had been promised through his vision. The final outcome, arranged by his Lord, would be for the best. Even though separation and sorrow would now come upon him and his beloved Yusuf, nothing could destroy Yakub a.s. certainty and trust in Allah's wisdom and mercy, and he surrendered himself inwardly to whatever the all-wise Lord might decree. Shaitan works in subtle and deceitful ways, and with his words, Yakub unwittingly supplied his sons with a perfect reason for Yusuf a.s.'s disappearance. The brothers immediately knew they would blame Yusuf a.s.'s disappearance on a wolf, and this became part of their dastardly plan. Eventually, Yakub agreed, and the treacherous brothers took the unsuspecting Yusuf on their journey into the desert. As soon as they departed and went to a distance, they started swearing and ill-treating him. They humiliated him and threatened him. They traveled far in pursuit of a well deep enough to throw their brother in. When they finally reached the well, on the pretext of drinking water, one of them put his arms around Yusuf and held him tightly. Startled by this unusual behavior, Yusuf struggled to free himself. More brothers rushed to hold him. One of them removed his shirt. Some more joined in to lift Yusuf up and cast him into the deep well. Yusuf's piteous pleas made no difference to their cruel hearts. The brothers eventually outpowered Yusuf and threw him down the well. Completely consumed by their jealousy, the brothers took an oath to keep their foul deed secret and walked away pleased with themselves. And they came to their father at night, weeping false tears. It was dark, and Yakub was sitting in his house anxiously awaiting the return of Yusuf. The sound of 10 men crying confirmed his deepest fear. The darkness of the night was matched only by the darkness in their hearts. The lies rolled easily from their tongues, and Yakub's heart constricted in fear. According to the Qur'an, they said, "Our father, we went running races and left Yusuf behind with our belongings. So the wolf came and ate him. But you will not believe us, even though we tell you the truth." They said that they left Yusuf behind to look after their clothes, but then a wolf came while they were absent. They also said to their father that you will not believe us in what we say regarding Yusuf being eaten by the wolf, even if we had always been good in your sight. So how will it be when you have never trusted us? The verse, "and they brought his shirt stained with fake blood," means that they brought blood that was not of Yusuf. In fact, that blood was from a goat. They wanted to make their father think that a wolf ate him. It is said that while devising this plan, they forgot to tear the clothes, so their forgetfulness proved their lie. Thus, they were unable to convince their father about their claims. Yakub a.s. was well aware of the enmity of the stepbrothers towards Yusuf. It was due to their jealousy of his love for him. He also knew that Allah had chosen him to be his prophet. They were so eager to harm him that as soon as they persuaded their father to send Yusuf with them, they got rid of him and took him away from their father's eyes. After that, they came back from their trip, crying and pretending that they were really upset by what happened. For this reason, their father said to them, "Nay, your evil souls have tempted you to do something. Thus patience is beautiful. Allah is the one who is sought for help from what you are describing." We can only imagine Yakub a.s.'s feelings at that point. His terrible anxiety over Yusuf's unknown fate, and at the same time his horror at the naked evil that he saw so clearly within his sons. And although he was their father and a prophet, he had no power to deal with them. There were 10 of them, acting as a body in their wickedness, entirely out of his control, impelled by the worst of all ill feelings, envy. Yakub a.s. had already understood and accepted that some calamity would befall his beloved son. He knew his sons were lying. In the dark well, Yusuf managed to find a stone ledge to hold on to. Around him was total darkness and an eerie silence. Fearful thoughts entered his mind. What would happen to him? Where would he find food? Why had his own brothers turned against him? Would his father know of his plight? His father's smile flashed before him, recalling the love and affection he had always shown him. A divine revelation came to Yusuf in the well. "You will surely inform them someday about this affair of theirs, while they do not perceive your identity." It is reported that Yusuf stayed in the well for 3 days and 3 nights. Then, at a time decreed by Allah, there came a company of travelers in an Egyptian caravan. The people of the book said that their belongings were camels loaded with spices and balm, and they were on their way to Egypt from Shem. They sent some people from the group to bring back some water from that well. When one of them lowered his bucket, Yusuf was startled by the bucket hurtling down and grabbed hold of it before it could land in the water. As the man began to pull up, he felt the load unusually heavy, so he peeped into the well. What he saw shocked him. He held the rope tightly and shouted to his friends, "Better give me a hand, fellas. Looks like I found real treasure in the well." His companions rushed to the well and helped him to pull out the strangers holding onto the rope. Standing before them was a healthy, handsome youth, beaming with an angelic smile. They saw him in a handsome prize, for money was all that mattered to them. Immediately, they clapped iron shackles on his feet and took him along to Egypt, far away from his beloved homeland of Canaan. The treacherous brothers appeared and demanded payment for Yusuf. They sold him for a small price, for a few dirhams, and they showed little regard for him. They followed behind him, saying to those who had bought him from them, "Make sure he does not escape." That is, until they had safely reached Egypt with him. The men of the caravan took Yusuf to Egypt, expecting to sell him for a handsome price. So, Yusuf is now in Egypt, scared, with no family, nothing.